They tell me that I'm never gonna make it. They want me to.
The beautiful girl sat in front of the dressing table, staring at her reflection, which now looked different than usual. Her face enhanced with makeup, lips slightly red, and bright brown eyes added to her beauty. Her lips smiled, but her eyes held a melancholic gaze. Yin, hurry up. Your future husband's family will be here soon. Without knocking, her mother entered and shouted at Yin, her eyes glaring annoyed at her daughter, still sitting in front of the mirror. Yes, Mom, I'll be out soon, Yin replied, with a forced smile on her lips. Always causing trouble, even getting married causes trouble for everyone, Jia muttered and immediately left the room. Yin just gave a wry smile. For Yin, there were no choices in her life. She wasn't given the freedom to live her own life. Everything she did was controlled by her parents, including arranging her marriage to a friend's son. Yin's parents were among the most well-known mafias in Korea. Yin had a younger brother, Human, who was dearly loved by their parents. That night, without Yin's consent, her parents decided to betroth her to Jungkook, the son of another well-known mafia in Korea. Yin couldn't refuse and just followed her parents' wishes. Yin was fed up with her parents' dictatorship, but she couldn't do anything about it. Yin was just a fragile and naive girl. She wasn't brave enough to oppose her parents. Yin quickly left the hotel room before her father and mother got angry. She didn't want to make her parents hate her more. She didn't want to upset her father by making him wait as she walked down the aisle. Finally, Yin was ready, joining her parents and younger brother. Yin looked very beautiful today. The long white dress fit perfectly on Yin's slender body. She styled her brown hair up, leaving a few strands on the right and left side. She looked elegant and charming. Jia and Songbum glanced briefly at her, then focused on their son. Human, you look very handsome, Jia praised with sparkling eyes. This suit really suits you. Father's choice is never wrong. Of course, for my son, I will always provide the best. Both parents laughed joyously, ignoring Yin, who was already near them. Human smiled modestly in response to his parents' praise. For him, such compliments were normal. Ah, sister, you're here. Human greeted Yin with a click of admiration. You look very beautiful, sister. Your future husband will surely be charmed by you, Human praised sincerely. While their parents ignored Yin, Human was a loving brother to her. But again, Human couldn't do much. Their parents were very stubborn. The wedding took place in a hotel. Not many guests were invited, as per Yin's request. Only close family and friends of her father's mafia, and of course, guests from her husband's side. Yin didn't even invite her college friends. Yes, Yin was still in her final year at a prestigious university in Seoul. She didn't have close friends. Soon, the Jungkook family arrived. Jungkook looked handsome in a suit that fit him perfectly. His hair was neatly combed back. His gaze was sharp, intimidating to anyone who saw him. Honestly, Yin was a bit scared of Jungkook. She knew him as one of the most feared mafia sons in Korea. He ran the business empire built by his parents. However, Yin had only met him occasionally at mafia meetings, without speaking to each other. Jungkook had also long been aware of Yin as the daughter of one of his father's associates. But Jungkook's stiff and indifferent attitude had prevented any interaction because there was no interest. Until his father arranged his marriage to Yin, Jungkook saw no reason to refuse Yin, as anyone his parents chose for him was worthy of becoming part of their family. The wedding ceremony went smoothly. Yin was escorted by her father to the altar, and their vows were solemnly exchanged. Why are you so nervous? Jungkook turned to Yin, who was next to him. From time to time, the woman who had just legally become his wife fidgeted with her hands. It's nothing. I just didn't expect to get married this soon, Yin answered with a thin smile. Are you not happy? I should be happy with whatever my parents decide, Yin replied with a melancholic smile, which Jungkook still caught. Jungkook sighed. He didn't know if Yin was forced into this marriage or not, but secretly he hoped that his wife would not make things difficult for him with unknown behaviors. He hoped she would be a cooperative partner, not a troublesome wife. The wedding proceeded smoothly. The guests had left, leaving only the two families sitting in the room. Dad, Mom, tonight I will take Yin to live at my house. Jungkook asked permission from Jia and Songbum. Oh, yes, that's fine. That's how it should be, right, Yin? Jia looked at Yin with a meaningful smile, which Yin simply nodded to. It was indeed time for their daughter to leave their house now that she was a wife. Okay, don't worry. I will take good care of Yin, continued Jungkook. Yes, we trust you, Songbum responded casually. For them, how Yin felt was not important. What mattered was that Yin was no longer a burden to them, so they could focus on Human. Songbum and Jia's reaction made Jungkook frown curiously. They seemed not to care about their daughter, but Jungkook didn't want to think too deeply. He looked at Yin, who was eating quietly. Then he looked at his parents, who smiled softly at him. Bring just enough things, not too much. We can buy them later, Jungkook instructed Yin. Yes, I have prepared everything, Yin said softly, and continued eating. Yin had already packed the essential items she thought necessary, including her university modules. Sister, I will surely miss you, Human hugged Yin, bidding her farewell before she left. Visit me sometime, Yin warmly returned her brother's hug. Definitely. Brother Jungkook, please take care of my sister. Human looked directly into Jungkook's eyes. Although the young man was just in high school, he became very serious when it came to Yin. Jungkook simply nodded with his usual expressionless face. As Human and Yin hugged, their parents just watched with a flat expression. Come on, Human. Your sister needs to go now. Don't act like a child, Jia scolded with displeasure. Human released their hug, glancing angrily at his mother. Yes, mother. Finally, Jungkook took Yin out, and as Yin and Jungkook got into the car, left the hotel area. Finally, Jia smiled happily and was relieved. Indeed, finally that child has her own family. Songbum chuckled lightly, feeling very satisfied seeing Yin no longer troubling them. Human sighed harshly. Father and mother are really too much. Human immediately left the hotel and went home without waiting for his parents. Upon arriving at Jungkook's private house, they were welcomed by the maids. This was Jungkook's private home. They would live there, just the two of them, with the maids and guards, of course. Our bedroom is upstairs. This maid will show you, Jungkook said before leaving her. Let me show you to your bedroom, ma'am, Yin smiled modestly, following the maid, who might be around her mother's age. The bedroom was very spacious, with a masculine, dark ambience, typical of the cold Jeon Jungkook. Even the scent of his men's perfume was quite strong in there. Yin could see some of Jungkook's items, still not neatly arranged on a table in the corner of the bedroom, like an iPad, laptop, and pens. She opened a door on the side leading to a large walk-in closet filled with women's clothes, obviously for her. She opened another door that turned out to be filled with her husband's clothes. Yin smiled faintly, although he seemed cold and uncaring. It turned out her husband was quite considerate of her. Yin decided to soak in warm water, wanting to refresh her body, and before she knew it, an hour had passed and it was already getting dark. After finishing her bath, she changed into her nightgown inside the bathroom and came out fully dressed. She stepped out and found Jungkook standing beside the bed. He unbuttoned his shirt one by one, revealing the perfect sculpture of Jeon Jungkook's body. Yin turned her face away, her cheeks heating up for some reason. Thank you for providing all my personal needs, Yin said sincerely, walking around the bed, intending to rest after a tiring day of greeting guests. Jungkook responded nonchalantly. Yin clicked her tongue in annoyance. Her husband was indeed very sparing with words. Jungkook took off his long pants, leaving only his shorts, which unfortunately looked sexy in Yin's eyes. He then joined Yin in bed. The next day, Jungkook woke up first. He smiled slightly, seeing Yin still soundly asleep in his arms. Slowly, Jungkook got up. He was annoyed that instead of being able to vacation and honeymoon, he was trapped with a damn job he couldn't leave. It's hard to believe, but it has already been a month since their wedding. Throughout this time, Jungkook has remained distant towards Yin. He is extremely busy, leaving early in the morning and returning late at night, often missing dinner with Yin. Yin feels lonely in this marriage, but she tries to understand that her husband is indeed busy and after all, this is an arranged marriage, not one founded on love. So, what can she expect? Are you coming home late again today? Yin asks during one of their rare breakfasts together. Although they seldom have dinner together, Jungkook always makes time for breakfast with his wife each morning. Yes, Jungkook replies nonchalantly, calmly eating his chocolate spread toast. Can I take my own car to campus later? I'll be back late because of a group assignment. No, you'll still be driven by the chauffeur. Call him when your assignment is done, Jungkook says briefly, before getting up to leave. Yin sighs. Being a mafia wife seems to restrict her freedom to leave the house without supervision. Before marriage, her parents didn't care about her whereabouts. She could come home late or not at all without them minding. But now, Yin's movements are seriously limited. Jungkook always keeps an eye on her, albeit not directly. How can I even converse with him? Yin wonders. She has tried several times to initiate conversations with Jungkook, but his responses remain cold and flat. I better hurry, Yin says, standing up and heading to the bedroom to grab her bag and several stacks of books she needs for university. Hey, Yin. Yin startles when Dalmi suddenly shoves her shoulder roughly. Dalmi is one of the popular students at her university, with two close friends, Jiyoon and Nara. The three of them often bully Yin. What do you want? Yin asks, raising an eyebrow. Yin is not a weak girl, but she is not good at socializing, which often leaves her alone. Because she is always alone, she sometimes becomes a target for bullying since they know Yin has no friends. The girls are actually jealous of her. Yin's natural beauty attracts the most sought-after guys on campus without any effort, unlike other women who work hard to catch their attention. Why did you dye your hair? Trying to show off? Dalmi corners Yin further, pulling her brown hair until she winces in pain. Let go, Dalmi. Whatever color my hair is, it's none of your business. Yin resists, but the pull on her hair is very painful. Pain instantly shoots through her head. Answer me. Who told you to dye your hair? Huh? Dalmi yells again. I wanted it. This color makes me look more beautiful, Yin says, while protecting her increasingly tugged hair. Typical. If I still see your ugly dyed hair tomorrow, you'll know the consequences. Dalmi warns angrily in response to Yin's defiance. What's it to you? You're a coward for attacking me in a group. You're ugly. That's why you don't have friends like us. I'm just warning you, stop trying to stand out on this campus. I'm really sick of seeing your face. Dalmi harshly releases Yin's hair and leaves her there. Yin moans in pain. She fixes her disheveled hair caused by Dalmi's antics. Yin looks around and realizes the area is crowded. They just watch without wanting to help Yin. As usual, this has been happening for a long time. That's why Yin is so focused on her studies. She wants to leave this campus as soon as possible. No matter how hard she fights, if her opponents are 3 or more, she will lose because she is alone. Yin finally walks alone towards the cafeteria. Indeed, she has no close friends and tends to keep to herself. Yin carries a bowl of warm soup, perfect for the chilly air. She walks carefully, then suddenly stumbles over a leg that suddenly blocks her path, causing laughter throughout the cafeteria. Ha ha ha. It seems our princess can't even walk properly. Does she need big glasses? Yeonhai's voice echoes in the cafeteria. Do you need help standing up, Princess Yin? Yeonhai smirks, extending her hand. Yin remains silent, her fists clenched tightly. The front of her clothes is wet. The heat from the soup causes some parts of her skin to redden. Oh, you're too proud to accept my help. Yeonhai withdraws her hand. Too bad your clothes are wet. Go away. You smell, Yeonhai says in an annoying tone. Without a word, Yin stands up and walks quickly to her locker. Fortunately, she always carries a change of clothes in her locker, just in case an incident like this happens. It's not the first time Yin has faced such treatment, so she's already prepared. Yin sighs heavily, looking at her reflection in the bathroom mirror. Her dirty clothes have been replaced with clean ones. Thankfully, I have no more classes, so I can go home after finishing my assignments later. Yin looks sadly at her reflection. When will all this end? Yin is tired. At home, her parents ignore her. At university, she's bullied. And now, after getting married, her husband is cold towards her and always busy with work. Yin is picked up precisely at 4 p.m. She sits in the passenger seat and remains silent. Occasionally, her personal driver glances back, noticing that the lady looks a bit pale. He also noticed that Yin's clothes were different from what she wore in the morning. After arriving in front of the house, Yin quickly gets out and wants to rest immediately. Hello, sir. Mrs. Yin has returned. She looked a bit pale today, and her clothes were different from this morning. All right, sir. The phone call ends. It has become routine for Jungkook's subordinates to report everything related to Yin. Although cold, Jungkook has his own way of looking after his wife. Jungkook arrives home at 10 p.m. and finds Yin still working on her final assignments in front of her laptop. How's university going? Jungkook asks while unbuttoning his shirt. In the past, Yin would have felt uncomfortable seeing her husband shirtless, but gradually she has gotten used to it. Good. Jungkook raises an eyebrow. When will you graduate? Yin turns fully towards Jungkook, slightly surprised by his interest. It's unusual for Jungkook to care about her studies. If everything goes smoothly, I'll have my graduation presentation in 6 months. Jungkook just nods slightly before heading to the bathroom to clean up. Wow. It looks like this girl is starting to fight back, huh? Dalmi, Jiyoon, and Nara corner Yin in a quiet campus corridor. What now, Dalmi? Yin asks tiredly. Don't play dumb. Did you forget what I told you yesterday? Don't dye your hair. Dalmi yells in Yin's face. I've told you many times, it's up to me what color I dye my hair. I like it this way, Yin says, as she tries to walk away, but her arm is forcefully pulled back by the 3 of them. Jiyoon and Nara swiftly drag Yin into a dark storage room filled with unused chairs and tables. This is because you didn't follow my orders. Dalmi approaches, holding scissors and sneering. Jiyoon and Nara firmly hold Yin's arms, and Dalmi begins to randomly cut Yin's hair. Meanwhile, Yin continues to struggle, kicking and pulling her arms forcefully. Seeing Yin continue to resist, Dalmi gets angry and pushes Yin harshly onto the floor, causing pain in her wrists from their grip and her back from the impact with the floor. Don't ever try to oppose me, or I'll do worse than this, Dalmi gives her final warning to Yin before leaving, followed by Jiyoon and Nara. For the first time, Yin cries. This is the worst ordeal she has experienced. Her clothes are disheveled, and her arms start to turn blue, very painful. Why did you cut your hair? Jungkook asked as he was getting ready for bed. Because Dalmi had cut her hair unevenly earlier that day, Yin had to reluctantly go to the salon to get it tittied up so no one would suspect anything. Up until now, Yin had always kept the bullying a secret. She didn't want pity, and frankly, she was embarrassed at the thought of Jungkook finding out that she was a target of bullying at university. I just wanted a change of scenery, Yin lied. Yin lay down, turning her back to Jungkook. Jungkook nodded slightly, his eyes narrowing when he noticed the bruises on Yin's exposed arms. Why are her arms bruised like that? Jungkook wondered to himself. When it seemed Yin was deeply asleep, Jungkook moved closer, inspecting the bruises on his wife's arms more closely. He gently lifted the blanket covering Yin and was shocked to see that her wrists were also bruised. What really happened? What are you hiding from me? Eventually, Jungkook got out of bed and walked over to stand by the window of the bedroom. Find out what has been happening to my wife at university, Jungkook ordered in a cold tone, pausing, and also what happened at her home before. I want that information as soon as possible. Jungkook ended the call, gazing out the window while occasionally looking back at the bed, where his wife now appeared to be sleeping peacefully. Jungkook couldn't concentrate on his work. Since last night, he has been thinking about Yin's condition. Although she seemed fine, Jungkook was sure something was wrong. Come in. I have gathered information about Mrs. Yin, sir. Kai bowed respectfully to Jungkook. Tell me. It turns out Mrs. Yin has been a victim of bullying by her peers at university. According to the information I obtained, Mrs. Yin doesn't have close friends. She prefers to be alone, which means no one helps her when she is being bullied. Jungkook's fists clenched tightly, his heart suddenly heavy with this revelation. And, Mrs. Yin also wasn't treated well by Mr. Songbum and Mrs. Jia. She was always treated differently compared to her brother, Human. Her parents have only cared about Human because they prefer having a son over a daughter. Kai bowed, frightened by the reddening face of his boss, clearly furious with this fact. Find out who dared to bully my wife. Eliminate them all so they dare not confront Yin again. Jungkook's chest heaved with emotion. Was his wife's life really that difficult? And foolishly, as her husband, he had known nothing. Jungkook was disappointed in himself. He had thought Yin's parents treated her well, but apparently. Understood, sir. Kai quickly left to carry out his boss's orders. So all this time, you weren't happy living with your parents, Yin? Jungkook now looked at a small framed photo of their wedding on his desk. I promised to make you happy with me. Jungkook now looked tenderly at the photo. It had been a week since Yin's hair was cut. Since then, Dalmi hadn't bothered her. Yin hadn't even seen Dalmi and her cronies at all. Yin was puzzled. Not that she missed Dalmi's presence. She was certainly glad there was no bullying. But this was strange. Usually there was something daily that tested her patience. Yin walked to the cafeteria. The many pairs of eyes staring at her made her uncomfortable. Even Yeon-hai seemed frightened when she saw Yin enter the cafeteria. Yeon-hai quickly left without wanting to look at Yin again. Yin was further baffled by this oddity. She sat quietly in a corner of the cafeteria as usual. Did you hear that Dalmi dropped out of university? What? Really? Isn't she about to graduate? Yes. Suddenly yesterday, I saw her submitting a resignation letter from being a student here. Even Jiyoon and Nara also left. Could it be they ran into some trouble? Who knows, but I'm grateful. At least one arrogant person like Dalmi is out of this university. Honestly, I was fed up with her domineering behavior. You're right. Yin clearly heard these voices. Dalmi left the university? Why? Yin muttered softly. Questions and curiosity unsettled Yin. She speculated about what really happened. The next morning. Can you take a week off or leave from university, Yin? Jungkook asked in the morning, as he came out of the bathroom, just wearing a towel around his waist. Yes, this morning Yin was surprised by Jungkook, who hadn't gone to work yet and wasn't dressed as usual because usually, by this time, Jungkook was already preparing himself in his work clothes. Unusually, this time, Jungkook appeared warmer. There was no intimidating aura when looking at him. Instead, his gaze had softened, making Yin's heart race. What's the occasion? Why do I need to take time off university? Asked Yin, who was still sitting on the bed. but already freshened up. In an hour, she was supposed to leave for campus, but she hadn't changed her clothes yet. I want to take you on a honeymoon. If I recall, we haven't had a honeymoon since we got married, and it's been a month since our wedding, Jungkook explained, now sitting beside Yin on the bed. Jungkook's response surprised Yin. Yin stared at Jungkook, bewildered, wondering why her husband was acting so strangely. Don't look at me like that. I just want to be a warm and kind husband. I'm learning. Jungkook smiled sheepishly. Why do you want to be a warm and kind husband? Yin asked gently. I just want to make you happy. So from now on, I really want to be a husband who's always there whenever you need me. Jungkook looked into Yin's eyes, smiling faintly. Yin was struck by the sharp yet gentle look in his eyes. She remained silent, shocked by Jungkook's sudden change. So, can you take a week off? Jungkook brought Yin back to reality. Yin cleared her throat, slightly embarrassed. A blush spread across her cheeks. Why so long? Yin asked. Yes, because I want to take you to the Maldives. I've booked the tickets and prepared everything there. Jungkook chuckled, seeing Yin still shocked by his plans. Yin squinted, her eyes narrowing. So your question was just small talk? If it's like this, don't I have to go with you no matter what? Honestly, at this moment, Yin wanted to shout for joy. Maldives was a place she had always wanted to visit, and now her husband was taking her there for their honeymoon. Yin was truly happy. Jungkook held Yin's hand, pulling his petite wife into his embrace. I'm sorry for being so busy that I made you feel lonely in this house. But from now on, I promise to balance my time better between work and spending time with you. Yin smiled softly, nodding, truly happy this morning because she knew they were going to Maldives. You look happy again, Jungkook remarked with a smile as he watched Yin. Yin smiled broadly, stroking Jungkook's strong jaw with her hand. I'm happy because we're going to Maldives. Feeling Yin's touch on his jaw, something stirred in him. Suddenly, he pulled Yin onto his lap. Yin was momentarily startled but quickly calmed down when she realized her position. My wife is so beautiful, Jungkook whispered, right at Yin's lips. He tilted his face, causing Yin to instinctively close her eyes. Their noses touched before their lips met and passionately kissed. Slow, deep, unhurried, they conveyed all the emotions they had. Jungkook tightened his embrace, pulling Yin closer to him. The kiss grew more intense as Jungkook's hands roamed, touching what he desired. Yin moaned softly when Jungkook gently bit her smooth neck. I want to try it in the morning. We've always done it at night, and I'm curious about the sensation of doing it in the morning like this, Jungkook said in his husky voice. Seeing Yin's flushed face, Jungkook then laid her down and climbed on top of her, continuing his advances. For the first time, they made love in the morning.